And today we will be talking about EMI, English as a medium of instruction. So before we start to present our presentation, we would like to ask you a question about EMI.
So what do you guys think about English as a medium of instruction?
Yes, sure.
I think EMI should be a necessity for students who are studying in the language department, but for other branches like science, engineering, I feel like it shouldn't be a mandatory rule for them to use EMI. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. Any other thoughts? Okay, so actually we're going to answer our own question during the presentation, so without further ado, let's begin. Before we start, I'd like to introduce the sections. There is 4 sections in our presentation. The first one, section 1, I will be talking about what is medium of instruction, and then I will be talking about English as medium of instruction, and then I will be talking about EMI's growth over the course of time. In section 2, Erdal will talk about political opinions and advantages of EMI. After that, he will be talking about why it is so common and popular around the world. In section 3, again, I will be speaking, and I will be talking to negative opinions about EMI and disadvantages of EMI. And then lastly, Erdal will conclude the presentation, and then we will have our question and answer part. So, section 1. What is medium of instruction? Basically, medium of instruction is usage of the target language by teachers and education system in order to both expose students to that language and also make them feel like they can learn by using that language during their classes, whether it is math or science. So that takes us to the second slide. English as medium of instruction, as all you can guess. It is the usage of English as the target language in order to prepare the kids for their future, because we all know that English is a worldwide spoken language around the world. So this is why EMI is used, and that is what EMI is. Let's talk about EMI's growth. So according to what we found in the internet, there is a lot of reasons why EMI is growing so fast and rapidly, but these are the common ones, and these 3 are the biggest ones. And actually, in a way, they are connected to each other, and I will explain it at the last last part. Anyways, let's start with the first one. As we all know, English is the international language used around the world, so this is why English is chosen to be used during medium of instruction things, because we all know that we will use English in the future, because like for 40 years, 30 years, everyone is using English for their businesses and companies to like communicate with other countries. So the second one is actually coming from the first one, because we all know that our parents want the best for their kids, right? They want a secure future for us, bright spots in the future. So they believe that if we get to know how to use English in our daily basis lives, both in social lives and in educational lives, they think that we will be successful when we come to the business part of our lives. So they have no problems with us being forced or exposed, I should say, to English during all of the lessons that we are taking in our education. So this one also takes us to the third one, which is increased demand for English. Like I said, since English is the worldwide used language around the world, businessmen and bosses and employers start to require English from their employees, and also from the people who wants to work with them, who wants to work under their company. They believe that they will be successful internationally, so they think that if their employees know how to use English when needed, they will be successful in their company's jobs and future. So now Erdal will talk about his part of the
Now I will go with the positive opinions and advantages of EMI. These are the 3 biggest countries that use EMI. In Germany, there is a great expectation that everyone speaks a second language or have a reasonable level of English. And that's why in Germany, EMI is so important. When we come to the Hong Kong, in Hong Kong, EMI is seen as a way of preparing children for their education and for their adult lives. You can say that. And lastly, when we come to India, in India, public opinion about EMI is mainly positive. And the demand for EMI is increasing, particularly at the school level, in order to access the opportunities in the tertiary level and for employment. Now I will go on with the advantages of EMI. The first part is that computers. Since using computers is important and the language of computers nowadays are English, students won't have any hardship in using them in their futures, in their jobs, something like that. And then we come to the business. All companies from all around the world hire employees who can speak English fluently. So EMI gives the opportunity to students to be good at English and to find jobs in those companies. And when we come to the science, all scientists are using English as the common language. And so EMI gives the students an awareness to understand what science is and how it works. Then we come to the fluency. Since students will be exposed to the English all the time in their schools where EMI is used, they will be more familiar with the English and they will be more fluent. Then there is this conflict issue. When children are exposed to English in their early lives, it will be easier for them to use and understand the English in their future where it's necessary. And lastly, the education. Most of the research papers and studies are written in English. Because of this, some students who are not really language students will have a great difficulty in understanding them. But when we use EMI, it will provide them extended reach of education. So when we look at this chart shows the percentage of using EMI in all kinds of schools, and the blue parts are representing the using of EMI. There are both public and private schools. The first three is public, and the last three is private. We can see that all these schools are eager to use EMI, but when we look at the public primary schools, the top of it, the percentages are seen nearly even. That's because public primary schools do not want to confuse children's minds in their early lives with using English. And according to Durban, private schools are using English more than public ones. Now Murad will go on with the negative opinions about.
Thank you, Erdal. So, since we talked about the topics, let's talk about the negative sides and negative opinions about EMI. We categorize them into two sections. First one is the parental concerns, and the second one is the national concerns. So let me talk about the first one. Parental concerns. By parental concerns, we mean that when, especially in countries like India and Nigeria, even in Belgium, there is no main tongue being spoken by the community. There is 4 or 5 languages being spoken there. So parents think that and believe that, some of them, when their kids are introduced to English in every stage of their educational life, they will start to be obviously get used to using English, and they will be interested in English more than in their main tongue, because they don't even use it that much in their country. It's not in Turkey, we use Turkish all the time, or in England they use English all the time, except immigrants. So they believe that when we are introduced to a new language and when we use it to both get ourselves educated, and we know that we will use it in the future, we will start to be in contact with that language's culture. We all know that English is something big in our lives, so we believe that we should be, or we think that we should know the culture of English. To give an example, for myself, I know more things about England than maybe Turkish ones. So that's the main concern of parents. What if their kids start to alienate themselves from their own culture, from their family cultures? So that's one thing. Second one is the national concerns, and actually these are coming from the same countries, again, India, Nigeria, and Belgium, and so on. The politics believe that when their students or their businessmen start to use English all the time, every time, they think that they will immigrate to other countries to find better opportunities. Because we all know that India is a big country. However, we also know that in India there is not as developed, there is not such a thing as job opportunities as it is in England or Germany. So when we are capable of using English as good as we can use our momentum, we start to think that, wait, I should get out of this country and find something better so I can make a lot of money, right? And I can have a better future. So they think that this enables or gets to a result in which in those countries the jobs quality gets decreased, and also their public has concern about these topics because the ones that are working starts to think about getting outside, getting abroad, starting outside. So let's get into the disadvantages of EMI. When we look at this topic, we found that the concerns are mostly about the economical side, because right now in our days, usually the EMI is given at the best schools. Like you can find the best education in Turkey, in which the schools are using Turkish just for that course. We use EMI in Turkey as well, and in other countries they use it as well too. So expect universities, private schools like Erdal showed, uses EMI in like 80 or 90% of their classes. So according to this research made by Galloway in 2017, the schools in which EMI is used, equivalence takes more school fee than a normal private school would take. So that takes us to the second one, which is clash between rich and poor. Let's give an example and say that I'm coming from a rich family and Erdal is coming from a poor family. And we are in the same intelligence level and we want to get the best education possible in our country. However, like I said before, since the entrance fee is so high, he can't get the education, but I can get it. So this enables or this results in a clash between him and me. Although there is no differences between our levels, since my family doesn't have the money, I can get the best education possible in my country. And we believe that this will be solved in the future, hopefully. So the last one is lesser importance to the languages, to other languages, excuse me. When we are, like let's give an example from ourselves. We are using English all the time because we are studying to be English teachers, right? So personally, I don't have any concerns about other languages, even for Turkish. Like for now, I don't want any other language in my life, and most of the students start to think that way. Remember the slide, the concern I told you about the parents. So this is the result of that concern. This actually happens around the world. Students start to believe that they should be mainly focusing on English because otherwise they can't go on in their educational life, since English is being used all the time in their education. So now Erdal will sum up the presentation.
Now I will complete the whole presentation. In the first part, we talked about medium of instruction. Medium of instruction is using the target language in teaching. It may or may not be the official language of that country. Then secondly, we talked about medium of English as medium of instruction. English as medium of instruction is using English as a target language in the courses. In EMI, English is used from the beginning as a main language. When we talked about positive opinions and advantages of EMI, we saw 3 countries that use EMI, and we talked about some advantages like being fluent or reaching the expanded education. Lastly, we mentioned some negative opinions and disadvantages of EMI. We said that we talked about something like clash between poor and giving lesser importance to other languages. And we will have our question and answer part.
If you have any questions, we would like to answer them right now. Yes, please.
Now, I'm asking this for each of you actually. What's your personal opinion on the EMI? Erdal, let's go with you first.
I'm for EMI. As I talked, it has lots of reasons, lots of benefits. It will make you reach the world actually. You can find any job in every country. When we think about students, I think it will be beneficial.
Okay, and Emre, what do you think?
Personally, I believe that EMI should be something which is used around the world, but also there should be other options for the students who doesn't have the bilingual skills to acquire English, right? Because let's say that I want to be a mathematics teacher, but I don't have the skills to learn English, so why should I be forced to take my lessons in English while I have the skill to teach properly in order to get the best education possible in the world. I think there should be an option for the ones that doesn't want to use English to get the best education as well. Because right now, there isn't.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So, this is the difference, and this is the end of the presentation.